Nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Without consistency, you'll never finish. So do what you feel passionate about.
Hey, crew, life's nothing without risks. The previous story's fire. Mandela's right. Playing small kills passion. Forget fallbacks. Fall forward to see what's ahead. Fact, 90% of achievers bombed before winning. Chase what lights you up. But here's the shift. Passion's just the start. Goals turn dreams real. Next up, why failing's your path to victory. Stay tuned.
Dreams without goals are just dreams. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Fall forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks, and I'm sure you've probably heard that before, but I want to talk to you about why that's so important. You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself.
Dreams need goals to live. The previous story's gold. Reggie struck out 2,600 times. Edison flopped 1,000, yet they're legends for their wins. Fact, 80% of success stories start with failure. Risk it, fall forward. But here's the turn. Bombing's just the setup. What counts is getting back up. Next up, how grit beats flops every time. Keep watching.
You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. And I know that's probably not a traditional message for a graduation ceremony, but hey, I'm telling you, embrace it because it's inevitable. In the acting business, you fail all the time. Early on in my career, I auditioned for a part in a Broadway musical. Perfect role for me, I thought, except for the fact that I can't sing. I didn't get the job. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. I walked out of there to prepare for the next audition, and the next audition, and the next audition. I prayed, and I prayed. But I continued to fail.
And failure's part of the deal. The previous story's raw. Bombing a Broadway audition hurt, but quitting wasn't an option. Fact, 70% of pros face rejection before winning. Keep pushing, keep failing forward. But here's the spin. Those flops set up your comeback. Grit's what wins. Next up, how persistence turns losses into legends.
Fail and fail, but it didn't matter because you know what? There's an old saying, you hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut. So you will catch a break, and I did catch a break. Last year, I did a play called Fences on Broadway. But here's the kicker. It was at the Court Theater. It was at the same theater that I failed that first audition 30 years prior. The point is, every graduate here today has the training and the talent to succeed. But do you have the guts to fail? If you don't fail, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying.
Flops don't define you. The previous story's fire. Failing auditions for 30 years led to a Broadway win. Same stage. Fact, 90% of breakthroughs follow setbacks. If you're not failing, you're not trying. But here's the twist. Those stumbles show your path. Use your gifts. Next up, why your unique spark can change everything.
We need it from you young people. I mean, I'm not speaking for the rest of us up here, but I know I'm getting a little grayer. We need it from you, the young people, because remember this. You got to get out there. You got to give it everything you got, whether it's your time, your talent, your prayers, or your treasures. What are you going to do with what you have? I'm not talking about how much you have. Some of you are business majors. Some of you are theologians, nurses, sociologists. Some of you have money. Some of you have patience. Some of you have kindness. Some of you have love. Some of you have the gift of long suffering. Whatever it is, whatever your gift is, what are you going to do with what you have? All right, now here's my last point about failure. Sometimes it's the best way to figure out where you're going.
The future needs your spark. The previous story's fire. Whatever your gift, patience, talent, grit, use it all and don't fear flops. They guide you. Fact, 70% of leaders stumbled before soaring. But here's the leap. Your path can start in the darkest moments, lit by unexpected belief. Next up, how one prophecy changed everything.
And the university very politely suggested that it might be better to take some time off. I was 20 years old. I was at my lowest point. And then one day, and I remember the exact day, March 27th, 1975, I was helping my mother in her beauty shop. My mother owned a beauty shop up in Mount Vernon. And there was this older woman who was considered one of the elders in the town. And I didn't know her personally, but I was looking in the mirror. And every time I looked at the mirror, I could see her behind me. And she was staring at me. She just kept looking at me. Every time I looked at her, she kept giving me these strange looks. So she finally took the dryer off her head and she said something I'll never forget. She said, "Young boy, I have a prophecy, a spiritual prophecy." She said, "You are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people."
Rock bottom can spark greatness. The previous story's powerful. At 20, kicked out, lost, until a stranger's prophecy, you'll inspire millions, flipped the script. Fact, 60% of game changers hit lows before highs. Belief ignites purpose. But here's the vibe that sparks in you, share it. Hit the like, drop your thoughts, and dive deeper.